Hello, this is Jennifer Francis. I'll be the instructor for the online portion of your course. Some of you may have had me before, and some of you may be new to me. Either way, I'm sure that you'll find that in general, I'm pretty down to earth, and I have a pretty good sense of humor. If you'd like to take a moment to get out a pencil and a paper, we'll have a couple things that we need to note as we go along. However, I will also email you the link to this video in the online course. That way, if you need to refer back to any information, you can find it easily. The first information you should write down is the address for logging on to the course. It's written up here on the board. Once you've entered it into your computer once, please bookmark it so you can easily find your course and not forget it. Once you log in using that URL, they'll give you information about your login username and password. That should be right on the login screen. Once you've logged into Blackboard, if you're taking more than one course, you'll have a dashboard like this, and you'll see several courses listed. You're going to want to click on Intro to Medical Nutrition Therapy. And here's the course. You're going to start, obviously, at the Welcome Start Here page. And while we like to think that all parts of the course are important, there are three especially important places that you need to know. They are listed right here on the Welcome and Start Here page, and they are the course syllabus. You can click on the attachment and read the information there. Helpful student resources, which we'll click on in a moment, and course content. Helpful student resources is just what it sounds like. A bunch of different files or folders with information that may help you throughout the course. For example, instructor contact information has my phone number and email address on it. The required textbook in case you forget. Some tips on preparing for an online course. Tips for discussion and college writing. Suggested study plan, which I will return to in a moment. Software that you may need for the course. Technical requirements for Blackboard, and the phone number and email address if you have trouble with the course. If you have content questions about nutrition, those would be directed to Deb or myself. If you have minor technical problems with your computer, like you can't figure out how to attach something, you might direct that question towards me. If it's something a little more complicated than I can deal with, I'll remind you of this phone number here or this email address and ask you to contact the help desk. So let's go back up to the suggested study plan, just for a moment to review what your weeks will be like. As you know, your class lectures on Tuesdays in the afternoon. We would like to have your homework due on Monday night before class. Now the homeworks are several questions, but your answers can be fairly brief, just enough to show that you did read the chapter, you have reviewed the material. We want you to be very familiar with the material in the chapter before you come to class, and that's why homework is due the night before. Also, for each homework, there'll be a case study that you will review in class, so it's essential that you have that done before you come to class. There will not be homework online every week. There are just 10 throughout the semester. Additionally, we'll be studying medical terminology this semester, and there are 4 quizzes which are due on Fridays. Not every Friday, obviously, as there are only 4, but when we do have them, they will be due on Friday. So, you should come home from class on Tuesday, go online and look at the schedule for the following week so you know what homework you'll be doing by the following Monday. Okay, let's go back to the welcome page. Remember, there were 3 resources here: the course syllabus, the helpful student resources, and course content. The course content link is the one that you're going to be clicking on every week to find your assignments. You can find the link here, but also on the left-hand side of your screen. Clicking on either one of these links will bring you to the course content, which is the work that you need to do each week. Clicking on course content brings me to a list of weeks. There are 16 weeks in the semester. Week 1 is obviously this week. It started on Sunday. You do not have homework due this week, but there is a short assignment that you need to complete. Should only take you about 10 or 15 minutes. Let's click on week 1. For week 1, we'd like you to very briefly introduce yourself on the discussion board. Since you all know each other from class, that's nice for you, but it's nice for me to get an introduction so I know who I'm talking to when I see your name in my email box or on the homework. The very short assignment that you need to do is a student Blackboard orientation. When you log on, you should see the link for the student Blackboard orientation. Complete the orientation, and on this homework, you'll turn in the certificate number that you get at the end of that homework. If you just click on this link for first assignment and follow the directions, it's pretty intuitive. Lastly, there is a practice quiz for medical terminology. There will be a practice quiz every week. They are not graded. You may do them anytime throughout the semester. However, we'd like you to use those practice quizzes to get ready for the 4 actual quizzes that you have during the semester. Let's go back to course content. Oh, there we go. Let's go back to course content and click on week 2, because week 2 will be a little more typical of what your week looks like. For week 2, in the beginning I tell you what chapter we're going to be covering, both in lecture and also in the online medical terminology. For every week, you will have every chapter we cover in the book, there is a PowerPoint presentation with lecture notes that you can use, a homework assignment, and a medical terminology practice quiz. For this particular week, the homework involves some math, and so I have provided a math practice video, which is similar to what you're watching right now, where I show you stuff on a screen and talk you along through the steps. Okay, so this is a typical week: a PowerPoint, a homework, a practice test or practice quiz, test quiz, same thing, for medical terminology. Remember, your homework will be due Mondays before class. So your Chapter 17 homework is what will be due next Monday. Lastly, let's just take a quick look at a week that has a medical terminology test that is graded. Week 4, I believe. Yes. Week 4 has the first graded quiz. You can tell it's different because you see I give you all this information about how the quizzes are graded. The quizzes are 20 multiple choice questions, fill in the blank, or true false questions. Multiple choice, fill in the blank, or true false question. You must answer each question, save your answer, move on to the next. Okay? You will have 20 minutes to complete it. You may use your books and notes. However, you still need to study because it's not easy to get through the quiz in time if you have to look up all the answers. You should know most of them off the top of your head. You will need to score an 80% or higher on this quiz before you can take the next quiz. You can take this quiz as many times as you need to score an 80% or higher. However, your grade that's recorded in the book will be an average of all your attempts. If you have questions about that, and it is a little different than what we've done in the past in my online classes, if you have questions about that, please just feel free to email me. Which brings me to another point about our course. The course email is right here, right on your navigation bar. If you need to send me a message, click Create Message. You don't need to know my email address or anything like that. It will just go right directly to me. This is where you should be sending me questions about the course, if at all possible. If you send them to my SMCC account, they sometimes get lost in all the other mail, but this mail is only email from this class So it's very easy to see who sent me email and when. I believe that's all the information that you need to know, except for just to say anytime you have questions or concerns, don't hesitate to call or email me. I'm very friendly on the phone. I love to talk to my students. I live far away, so it's nice to make that little bit of connection. And I hope that you all do very well in the course. Deb's an awesome teacher. I'm so excited to be working with her this semester. Um, and I'm so excited to be working out with you. So have a great course, work hard, study hard, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks so much for your time.